Hi, I'm Wade Millward, and today I'm catching up with CRN senior editor Dylan Martin on CRN In-Depth, where we cover a big story happening now with the reporter who covered the news. Dylan, we're here to talk about NVIDIA GTC, the chip maker's biggest event of the year. A lot of news coming out of it. What do channel partners need to be focusing on?
Yeah, so the most immediate thing is that NVIDIA announced the follow-up to its fast-selling Blackwell GPU architecture. So Blackwell GPUs just started shipping in systems from Dell, Lenovo, and also available in instances from Amazon and Google and Microsoft. Well, now they're already planning a follow-up coming out in the second half of this year. Blackwell Ultra. It's going to include more high bandwidth memory and also 50% better 4-bit floating point inference performance. So basically just faster inference. We all know inference is becoming a lot bigger now that companies want to put AI applications into production, commercialize them. And I guess the other thing is NVIDIA is starting to turn to silicon photonics for networking. So they're planning Ethernet and InfiniBand-based networking platforms. So basically, it's going to be using light to send information. And the way they have created these new systems is that it's basically going to use a lot less power than their previous networking platforms. And that means there's going to be a lot more power headroom for GPUs. So they're basically paving the way for much larger GPU-based data centers in the future. CEO Jensen Huang did reveal, more info about future GPUs. There's there's a lot of GPUs coming every year. NVIDIA has a 1-year release cadence now. So we're looking now all the way out to end of 2027 for GPUs with significantly more horsepower than what we have now, which is pretty crazy because the performance is already pretty high.
Wow, yeah, no, that's incredible. And Dylan, coming out of GTC, what are you thinking about? What should channel partners be thinking about? What's next?
One quote I got from Jensen during his keynote is something that I think points to what he sees as just a huge opportunity ahead. He basically said what we assumed last year about how much compute we need, it was incorrect. And quote, the amount of computation we need at this point as a result of reasoning is easily 100 times more than we thought we needed this time last year. Talking about reasoning, we're talking about things like the DeepSeek R1 reasoning model. It's going to just be interesting to see okay, what about a year from now? Were we wrong about this year? Is there going to be even more compute needed? I think some critics may expect there's going to be less because some of these things might not shake out. But the fact that Jensen Huang is even more convinced about the need for compute than a year ago just seems to be saying something. So I think at least for now, it looks like good news for NVIDIA and its partners.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. We've both written about how everyone keeps talking about 2025 is the year of the agent, right? And my joke to everyone has been, okay, it's the quarter of the agent, but certainly the stuff moves so fast, it wouldn't shock me if, right, we're talking something completely different in the summer and what have you.
Right.
And something I'm taking away from,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, well, I will say he is thinking about what's next after agentic AI, as they call it, physical AI. NVIDIA wants to be a big part of robots in the future. And how are they trained? How do they perform? They have these basically digital twin environments where they can train robots virtually, and then that can transfer into the real world. Those robots are running on NVIDIA chips, big surprise. Not quite sure how that fits into the traditional IT channel, but maybe the IT channel is going to have to evolve in a similar way that it has for AI.
Something I'm hearing from you, Dylan, it does sound like there's still a lot of confidence from Jensen, from NVIDIA, from the folks you're talking to, because we're seeing geopolitical, economic uncertainty, a lot of competition. Is that something that's coming across to you?
I think he kind of just sees that this stuff is just going to happen one way or another. And because he was pointing to the fact that for the first 3 months of shipments for the new Blackwell GPU, they made $11 billion from that. And that is their fastest ramping product yet. and the number of units has already far eclipsed what they did with their previous generation Hopper GPUs. They showed us a chart comparing Hopper from last year to Blackwell for a few months. And this was from the top 4 cloud service providers, and it was just like an astronomical difference. So he just seems convinced that, like, regardless of what's happening in the political world, like, there's going to be a need for AI, and it's going to just continue to ramp up, perhaps exponentially.
That'll do it for this episode of In Depth. Thank you so much for joining me, Dylan. And to read more about chips and AI in the channel, visit crn.com.